Hey, what's up guys? Tdacey coming back with another World of Tanks replay video. This video is actually going to be a duo platoon session that me and Devlin from the Pibcat clan had a few days ago. It's going to be two separate games that we both achieved the Brothers in Arms award, which means that we lived through both games and got 3 kills each, and pretty much carried hard. So I definitely want to show you guys this as the replay of the week, and let's get started. So this first game is a standard battle on Redshire. It's a tier 10 game, obviously. I'm in my IS-4, and Lewis is in his T62A. You can see that they have a way better team statistically. They also have Hammer 91, who is probably the 34th best player on the NA server as a super unicum. They also have a massive platoon of mediums, which is hopefully going to be able to be countered by Lewis and our mediums, but we'll see how that happens later on. So as an IS-4, I want to go to the eastern side of the map, make sure that their IS-4 doesn't push through. Also the T-30 and Tortoise may be over there. Hammer 91, knowing that he's a super unicum, he's probably going to sit up at like the C6 position on that hill and just snipe towards us. So we're definitely going to try and counter, hopefully, the IS-4 like I said, and maybe pick off a few light tanks in the process. So you can see that Lewis is going to the G4, F4 position, going to slightly move up and use his T-54 buddy over there to hopefully get into the little berm, the valley in between both of those hills, which you can see that if I actually try and zoom out here, they're going to try and get up to. So there's the valley, and they're kind of sitting up on top of it, letting that Waffle and M48 Patton use their gun depression and camo to support him. So as we scooch our way up to this 0-9 line, we see that their bat chats are kind of going wide around, which is a really weird thing to do. They are spotted, obviously, and they're kind of retreating down the 1-2 line. Not sure if they're making a scouting run or whatever they were doing, but that's kind of a pointless job there, in my opinion, because they may have spotted Lewis, but at the same time, they probably took some hit points in the process. The M41 Bulldog is doing an okay job spotting the eastern flank, but since we have no one here, he decides to just bug out. I mean, he's on the enemy team, just sitting there, and it looks like it already just fired at him, which really isn't a smart thing to do. So coming up here, you'll see that we have our first engagement in a little bit. I do spot an enemy IS-4. I do back up, and he bounces my gun mantlet. At the same time, I try and aim in with this shot and try and hit his engine deck. However, I do get a weird RNG roll. This new crosshair that I'm using, I think it's like, I don't even know what it is. It's actually pretty cool. I'll probably have the link in the description if you guys want to check that out too. I think it's a Roughnecks gun sight mod. So I have this Object 704 and a mouse slowly creeping up. So what I want to do is, I just want to side scrape pretty much and counter this IS-4. Now I do know that they have artillery, so I'm using this rock as much as I can to stay already safe. Now our artillery is obviously going to aim in on that IS-4, and that's why I'm keeping him lit here in this auto bounce position that he's not going to be able to pen me at. So it does go unspotted, so I peek out, and I only have 4 AP rounds, and I get a nice snapshot on his turret roof there. But towards the end, the heat rounds do come into play here. So I have a great crew on this IS-4, so I do have like just under a 10-second reload, so I'm able to probably DPM this guy out. I could have pushed him earlier, and now that the 704 is asking to push, I say yes, and we're going to engage him. We do know that he is the only thing on this flank, and he has moved up way away from his team. I mean, the T-30 may be holding down on that hill to our left. However, at the same time, I'm willing to take that chance with my HP pool, knowing that there's a mouse and a 704 behind me. So as this IS-4 realizes that there's a 704 and more than he expected, we're going to shoot him in the side of the turret, hopefully get an ammo rack, which I don't believe we do get. I don't have Eagle Eye on this crew, but I do have 5 skills. And now we're going to go ahead and take the kill and use our last AP shot. So we were able to scavenge up almost 1,400 damage on that IS-4 and not take any damage in the process. I mean, he was outnumbered, and he made a mistake by pushing up that far without any real support other than artillery, which are obviously not even focusing us because none shot towards us. So at this point, we really are engaging slowly, moving up towards the enemy. We have pretty much the whole map except for the northwestern flank, which really has some hard cover, but at the same time isn't the best place for the enemy to really snipe and camp in. So here's a 704, and by him YOLOing out there and simping me hard here, I decide, you know what, I'm just gonna sit there, and if he runs into me, then that's his fault. So at the same time, really bad play by him, but I honestly didn't help him by, I didn't really push him out or anything, but he just couldn't back up fast enough. So artillery fires at us, gets a nice splash hit for around 300 damage, as we were just taking shell after shell from these guys up here. Able to take a snapshot on that LTTB, get him down, as Lewis and our fellow mediums are really just pushing their asses in on the west flank. So that was the Tortoise, also a T-30 bounced me. We're able to take out the FV in the turret roof with heat, as this mouse is hopefully going to take some shots for us. Artillery shoots him, and now we're aiming in on this T-62A. Nice shot on his lower plate of an exact average roll of 440 damage, and we're up to 3.2k damage in this very nice IS-4. Lewis gets a nice shot on the M41, which I was going to focus down, but I was able to take it out fast enough, and you know, we're able to move up here. So I am trying to bait these guys into shooting. I know that they have artillery, so I do back up, but at the same time, if I could get some of their TDs spotted and take some cross shots, and especially get Lewis to spot here, that'd be ideal. So once again, try and bait them out with my side armor at an angle, kind of making a 45-degree angle here, making sure that they won't be able to pen me. We do have a mouse here, and the one thing is he's pushing out this enemy, or friendly, rather, 704 body, so he is giving away his position, and he gets hit there for it because of that. So now that they're all firing at the mouse, I decide to move up to the next position and side scrape here. I do get spotted and hit by the Tortoise. However, at this point, I'm obviously talking to Lewis, saying, you got to get in there, bud. You got to give me some spots, because I am a Russian heavy and I cannot spot at this range. So once they kill that bat chat and you know, realize that there's a few guys on the 1-2 line, they're going to be able to push this up pretty easily. So there's a T-30. I'm able to take a nice shot into his hole with heat and take him down. I don't want to burn a repair kit here, so I'm able to repair. And I'm going to try and take a shot on this Tortoise. However, he does back up, being a good shot and player that he is. Artillery hits me in the frontal plate. No pen, just a HE splash. And I'm out around 50% HP now. So if Lewis can get this bat chat down, he's at full health. He does have a T-54 and also a M48 Patton that for some odd reason is not moving up. If they can take them down, that'd be great. I'd take a little less aimed shot at that Tortoise just to try and, you know, get him down a little bit of damage. However, he is up, and I get the nice kill on Hammer 91. At this point, mediums are engaging. Pretty much a wrap for this game. Definitely a successful game nonetheless. I mean, especially with those mediums on the western flank, just holding them and making sure that they couldn't push our west is really a good thing. You can see here that the T-30 and Batchat are not focusing me. Batchat's lit on fire. Lewis is just racking in the damage, and it's pretty much all that is of this game. Batchat gets a T-54. Not really sure why that T-54 didn't keep moving, but whatever. There's artillery up at A1, A2. And, trying to get the shot on this Batchat. Trying to let Lewis get it. There he goes. Lights him on fire again. Get a shot on the T-30's back turret. And now we really just need to live. We do have 4 kills each, and almost getting crucial here, working towards that. But obviously, with 2 people left, not going to happen. And Batchat gets tracked. Lewis takes him out, and 9 kills out of our platoon here. Just a really good game. Obviously, we did split up. We went in a weird tank comp, especially with 2 people, pretty much splitting up and having one person go to one flank, one person go to the other flank. But on a map like Redshire, really helps out. You know, just a great play by Lewis and I. Definitely good game. Just really wanted to showcase these 2 replays today, because the BIA medals are really fun to get in platoons, especially with 2 people. It's obviously going to be easier, but with 3 people it's doable, but obviously going to be harder, because if one person dies, you're screwed out of it. So Lewis gets the kill on the T-62A, 10 kills as a platoon. He was able to get Top Gun. Myself, I got almost 5k damage, 4,832. I mean, I really should have scavenged up the replay from him, hopefully got, you know, a link or so, but at the same time, it is a pretty good engagement with that IS-4 towards the beginning of the match and also towards the end, you know, just rolling up on those TDs and sniping them out. Probably would have been a little bit more intense if I did have Lewis's replay, but at the same time, we'll have that for next game. So, yep, stay tuned, guys. We'll have the next game, and, yep, let's get that rolling. Ironically, is in the IS-7, the other Soviet Tier 10 heavy tank, and Lewis is in his T-57 heavy. So pretty much standard battle on Cliff that is actually kind of even in terms of tank comp as well as statistics-wise via XVM. So we'll see what happens. There is 2 artillery on our team and 1 on the enemy team, so we'll deal with that during this game. So let's see what we got here. Obviously, we're going to go around to where heavy should go, which is not the 1-2 line, contrary to what many people think. Unless you're in an E100 or mouse, you may be able to do that. But even E100s, I suggest going 8-9 line. Due to my mobility and also flex capability somewhat on this map as an IS-7, and my frontal hull armor being ridiculously strong if they can't see my lower plate, I decided to go middle and hopefully be able to dish out some damage with you know, obviously the gold rounds that I load in this tank too. I mean, I normally don't run this many gold rounds in Tier 10 vehicles, let alone any vehicle, but the Tier 10 Soviet, Russian, whatever you want to call it, Tier 10 heavy tanks, I do really like their guns with the added bonus from premium rounds. So other than like the 183 or the T49 like we're shooting at right now, these are really the only other tanks I run exclusively, pretty much exclusively gold. We do have 5 AP, so I'm going to obviously use that towards the beginning of the game and just get it over with and use it up. But you know, they do have artillery, and I was kind of concerned at that point because the T-49 did spot me, so I'm going to go get up to this bridge up here and use my slightly okay gun depression and retarded turret armor on this tank. It's just so trolly. So if I can get in their face and really just manhandle and bully the hell out of this E3 or E5, IS-3, and whatever those light tanks were, it's really going to be an advantage, especially for Lewis, because no one went really on their team to the 0-9 line. There's a few mediums and lower, well, not lower tier, but tier 9 heavies there, and the majority of their team is really just sitting here in the middle. So E5 decides to track me as he already hits the STI in the side. I'm obviously going to go ahead and try and take out the scout tank, kind of ignore this E5 in the process. I'm bouncing all sorts of rounds, especially from the E5 and IS-3, and able to take a shot on this E5. Tried to get the upper pen through his little drive wheel there. However, the sprocket shot did not work and it only tracked him because I'm firing AP. Now, if I had APCR there, it may have done damage, but at the same time, I'm losing a lot of HP here. I definitely want to engage this IS-3. So I let the E5 pretty much get my sides because I do have that STI to bait him around with full health. You see there's a little bit of a failed platoon here with the 1375 and FCM. FCM dies, 1375 dies, and I take a shot on this IS-3. Now, we do have around 1,000 damage in 2 shots. Pretty good rolls there. A little bit below average roll for the first one. For the second one, rather. But we are reloading now. So I go ahead, side scrape, try and get a shot on this IS-3. I rush it a little bit, get a shot on its turret cheek, and RNG does make it bounce for me. So I'm going to go ahead and reload again. We're going to peek out, hopefully get a shot on that IS-3, however he's taken out by the STI. So we're going to go ahead, try and kill the E5, but the same thing happens. RNG screws me over. So at this point, Lewis is pushing around the lighthouse, and things are looking great for our team. Take a little snapshot there with the auto aim, and we're able to take out the E5, and now we have the butt of the E100. He turns his turret at me, tries a snapshot, completely bounces off the front of my tank, firing AP, and I get a shot into his side. So almost 2k damage. Now we see his turret face. I'm going to try and reload. Fire gold right through his turret ring, get the kill, and we now have 2 kills. Lewis has 1, and the enemy team is pretty much crumbled. So really good engagement there in middle. We were able to get right in their face, take the attention of all those tanks as Lewis and the whole team pretty much pushed around the 9-0 line. Now his WZ is spotting people for Artie, but Artie has bigger problems and pretty much should be running away, but he doesn't feel like doing that and he wants to die. So we're going to go ahead and obviously try and fetch up these kills, get some more damage. And really his IS-7's terrain resistance, especially on this terrain, is not that good. We're only cruising at around 30 now. So there's a Stereo Mill behind the 1114, and that WZ really should drop down and kill him, which I think he's doing. So here we have some base D shots. Pretty much, obviously, just going to flex back, shoot from the bridge, not going to expose ourselves too much. Hide my lower plate. IS-8 has no idea that we're here. He's got Soviet spotting range, especially as a tier 9 heavy, which is absolute shit. And we get a really low roll of 391 into the IS-8's turret as Lewis finishes up his second kill. I'm going to try and shoot this waffle. As Lewis shoots him once, he gets killed by the Wheezy, shoot the AT-15. Get a great roll of 498 on him. Do jump off the hill, try and get into a better spot to shoot him, hopefully take him out. And Lewis is now flexing over to go get the Stereo Mill. We get the nice shot on the AT-15, securing our third kill. We have 3,075 damage and almost 3k win rate. Very good tank, this IS-7. So fun to bully people, especially at short range like that middle engagement. And now Lewis obviously holds his shot, lets the Patton shoot the Stereo Mill, and takes the kill for our second BIA of the platoon session. I actually had 3 BIAs in this platoon session a few days ago. I had 1 with Punk Rock and then 2 with Lewis. I didn't include the one with Punk Rock because I actually kind of lost the replay. I didn't have them turned on. So, yep. That's really just what I wanted to show for these videos in this replay of the week. Obviously, a little bit longer than usual because it is 2 games, but a really nice duo here of the 2 BIA medals. Really what I've been up to lately. In terms of other videos, I have acquired the T49 and just got to get a few more gameplays for that tank, and then I will make a review on it. Pretty much that tier 8 152 derp cannon is just so fun, but really unreliable. So I'll have that review up hopefully within the week. And that's pretty much it for this, guys. That's really just this replay of the week. And yep, happy tanking, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, and enjoy.